What's up, everybody? Tim Conley here, and I want to share with you a question from an audience member. He asked me to keep it confidential because, well, he doesn't really want this getting out, especially into his industry. He had a prospect come to him who wanted him to do some work that he doesn't do, but his agency needs to pay some bills. So what did I tell him? Well, we're going to find out. One of the biggest things inside of the agency space is full service or niche. And there's a lot of gurus out there who only say go niche. And then there's people who, well, no one really ever says go full service. I don't ever say go full service. You shouldn't really do that. But I also tell you, don't niche. Don't ever go the niche route. What I do tell you to do is specialize in an industry. There's a really big difference between niching and specializing in an industry. The main thing is, in a niche, you are really tied to it. All your messaging is focused right there. You might be very good at solving far more problems for the industry that niche resides inside of, and no one knows because you stay solely focused on that one space. But what I see over and over again is that somebody who's in a niche decides they're going to be full service for that niche instead of staying a specialist. And then that's when their agency starts losing profitability. They thought, hey, we're growing, we're putting on more clients, we're doing far more work. Why aren't we making more money? And you might be able to get away with that for a while in a great economy. But when the economy turns, which it has, well, all those projects, all those clients, all of a sudden start costing you a ton of money. And what happens is the economy goes bad, you start losing clients left and right, yet your expenses don't go away nearly as fast. It would be fantastic if they did, but they don't. So you still have bills to pay and no clients to pay them. So then along comes somebody who asks you to do a project that you don't do. It's not a part of your niche, it's not your specialty, but it could pay the bills. And this is what I recommend. You take the job. You take that job. You have to survive this. You have to be able to make sure your bills are paid. Because if you've got a team, it sucks to lose them because you've already started building company culture. You have intellectual property inside of that company that goes away when you start laying people off, when you have to fire them, when you say, I gotta let you go because I can't pay your salary. Well, then you've lost. You've lost far more than the ability to do work. You've lost the ability to produce additional intellectual property. Then you lose another time because you've got to rehire. That person may go on and get a different job and you won't be able to get them back. And you kind of lost their trust, so they may not want to come back anyways. So then you got to hire and train, and that's going to cost you a lot. And if you don't get the right person the first time, well, you got to hire and train again, and that's going to keep costing you money. So if we can forego future costs by paying the bills today, we pay the bills today. But here's the thing, we don't tell anyone. We don't go telling the world that we took a job that we are not a specialist in. We don't tell the world that we can now do this other thing. And it's going to be tempting. You're going to want to tell everyone, hey, we now can do this thing over here, so please give us money. That desperation will not work. Just don't do it. Stay on target. If you are a specialist in a niche, stay there. Don't change your market. Stay right there. But if jobs come along, you run into somebody who's like, hey, I'll pay your bills if you do this thing for me. Well, then take it. Pay your bills, but keep focused on your market, because there you're going to stay very profitable. Even if you have to discount a little bit, you can still stay more profitable if you do that. If you start getting tempted to go to the dark side and become a generalist, your message will get muddy and people will not know what you do, and then they can't refer others to you, and then you really will be in trouble. If you weren't in trouble already, you would be after that. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to stay on message, but pay your bills. What that means is you don't go looking for general work. You don't start advertising that you're full service. You don't start taking on a bunch of different projects, because if you start taking on a variety of projects, even though they might pay the bills initially, the management friction that comes with it costs you money. It actually starts extracting profit out of your business. Friction, it's wasted energy. That's what happens with management. The more you have to manage, the more different projects you have to manage, the more different types of projects that you're managing, the more friction you're putting inside your business. If your margins are already thin because you're taking general work, you can't just start saying you're full service, because it will push you under faster. Now let's bring this thing back up, because wow, that was a downer. Okay, I believe in little hinges swing big doors. And if you're new to this channel, you haven't heard me say this before, little hinges are a small number of clients who pay you a lot of money. Even in a down economy, they will pay you a lot of money if you can solve really big problems. And guess what? They got really big problems. You think you got problems? Your clients have problems. So solve them for them. That little hinges swing big doors phrase, use that as a mantra. I started my entrepreneurial journey during a recession, and that phrase, little hinges swing big doors, was the main focus on how I was going to pay my bills. Way back then, all I wanted to do was make $10,000 for myself. I was like, I'm just going to keep everything trim. It's just going to be me and a few outsourcers, and I'm going to be able to succeed if I can get 10 clients to pay me $10,000. That was it. It's all I was after. And I realized I had, a year to go get 10 clients to pay me $10,000 each. Well, I spent a full month going and getting the first one. And then the second one, I thought, it's going to take me a month to get that second one. Well, it didn't. And then the third one, that one came along even faster. And then the fourth one, and the fifth one. But I never lost sight of the fact that I was after little hinges swing big doors, just because the projects were coming faster and they were actually paying more than that $10,000 that I was after. Well, I started succeeding faster, but I didn't lose track of it. I just wanted 10 of them. But I got there far faster than I thought possible, because I stayed focused. I stayed focused on just get that client, get that check. So where do you find those little hinges? You need to take control of this situation. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for someone to come along and hand you a project, even one that you don't particularly do, so that you can pay your bills. I want you to actually target people. I've got a video called Hit List Marketing. It's linked here or down in the description below. And use it today to get to know who you should be going after. You target a specific list, your hit list, and those are the people you're going to go after. You're going to get to know their business. You're going to get to know the problems that they face, and you're going to reach out to them and offer to solve those problems. You get the attention of the people on that hit list. You bring them value. Then you ask to have a conversation. Doing it in that process where you get their attention, do something clever. Old school direct mail if necessary. Send them a FedEx package. Send them a shoe box with one shoe in it. It's an crazy old direct marketing technique. Do something to get the attention of that small group of people. And then you bring value to them. You got them to notice you. Then you gave them some value. Then you ask them to have a conversation. you're more likely to get a conversation than to simply just spam them. Right now, I'm getting massive amounts of spam, especially on LinkedIn. People who have not even checked out my profile to see what I'm about, spamming me about stuff that I'm not interested in. They're not going to get any work from me. Maybe if they spam enough people, they'll get 1 or 2 jobs. But if you take enough time to get to know your market, know what their real problems are, and they've got real problems, you get to know those, you can solve those. People are willing to pay for those solutions. And I want you to focus on just a handful of people, and you target them, and you reach out to them, and you stay in contact. You don't spam them once and forget all about them. You try to build a relationship with them. You try to get to know them and understand where they actually are in life so that you can truly solve their problem, and they will pay you. And then back to the original question that started this video. If they offer a project that you don't specialize in, take it if it's going to pay the bills. I want you to survive so you can thrive. I hope this video gave you some guidance on this crazy time that we're in. I've been through 2 recessions now in my career. This third one, you and I, we're going to get through it. And at the end of it, we are going to be far better off than we were when we started in this recession. So let's stick together. Let's focus on getting the right clients in the door. And you know what? A little secret. If you like, subscribe, share, and do all the socials, you'll definitely succeed through any economic times. Okay, maybe not. But if you like and subscribe and you hit that notification bell, you're definitely going to be hit with fantastic information going forward to help you grow your business. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Now off in the ending, woo, we're done.